Hiya, welcome to my Compound Life. I'm Jonathan. This is a channel where we build asset, we build habits, and most importantly, we build freedom, and that will be financial freedom. Okay, so on this episode, I just done my gym. Feel really good, by the way. It's always good to do some exercise, keep yourself fit. Have plenty of meat, have plenty of protein while you're doing it too. So I feel great. Okay, on this specific episode, I want to focus to chat a little bit about what are some of my plan, right? I think in one of the earlier video, I spoke about 94,000 Bitcoin seems to be the current resistance, right? And of course, I hope we can go past it very soon. Bitcoin price now is approximately 92,000, right? So it's hovering around 92 to 93, not quite able to let us getting past 94. It does seem a lot of selling, as soon as it hits 94. I simply just wanted to go beyond 94, have more of confirmation that Bitcoin price sticks around 94 to 98,000. Then you know what? Then maybe I'll start to take profit more, right? And the reason that I want to have this video is to call out why is it quite important for me that I want to take profit, right? Number one, because I've still got a small bag of swing bag, like a Bitcoin swing bag where I buy low, sell high. I want to sell, right? And at the same time, I'm just trying to position myself in a way that in the coming Bitcoin or crypto bear market, Bitcoin bear market, let's call it, I'm in good position to re-enter, right? So that's why I need to get out, get some cash out and have the expectation that in the coming bear market, potentially for Bitcoin, potentially Bitcoin can drop below its fair value, currently at around 70,000 USD. Okay, so I think that's what many of us should consider too, right? Not just going in blindly and buy. However, just have to follow through the rhythm a little bit. And of course, in my Compound Life, we don't just talk about Bitcoin, right? Potentially, there are a lot of alternate assets that will potentially be booming again. In that case, you always need to have some cash ready to capture some of that upwards opportunity, right? So in that case, this is essentially what I'm doing. But at the same time, apart from getting out my Bitcoin bag and a lot of my other crypto bag, which I kind of felt maybe in this specific Bitcoin crypto cycle, a lot of liquidity has been stolen away for AI, for Nvidia, for Google, and so forth, right? So that's also another reason that I want to get out as quickly as possible and be liquid in such a way that I can capture some of that upwards movement in the next bear market, which will be sometime next year. Okay, so I hope you guys can catch that rhythm and be prepared. If you don't have too much cash or assets to sell, right, and you purely just rely on your income, right, just want to highlight a few things that I used to do when I was younger to help me maximize my income a little bit more, right? So back in the days, apart from relying on my salary job, right, which was quite okay, quite decent, because I was working in London, right? At that time, we saved up enough to purchase our first property. Immediately after purchasing, we never quite just stayed. So it was quite a decent size 4-bedroom house. Well, it's actually 3-bedroom house with 1 living and dining, where we converted the living room into another bedroom. So in a way, it is a 4-bedroom house where we just occupy 2 of the bedrooms. That's for a small family of 3. And then the other rooms, what we did was we rented it out, right? So that was quite a decent income for us. Why? Because at that time we were paying off the mortgage, right? And essentially taking up 2 lodges essentially helped us to be much financially stable, in a way that we can help to maximize our saving a little bit. And during that time, taking up 2 lodges, essentially 2 tenants, right, essentially they're helping us to pay for our rent, right? And so they're helping us to pay for our mortgage, not our rent, right? So in a way, our mortgage was essentially zero, right? We essentially just paid in the deposit, and then the 2 tenants, because at that time rental market was pretty good in London, and then essentially they helped us to cover most of our mortgage. Other things that I used to do, I used to run a small import business where I kind of import stuff from overseas in Far East and then sell them on my own website or sell them through eBay. I don't even know eBay exists anymore, but I used to sell them through multiple channels like eBay, eBid, and stuff like that. Whether it still works, I think that's something we can definitely explore. But I still know a few of my friends that does that help them to maximize their income. And of course, throughout my working life, I was luckily enough that I got invited by some lecturers to teach or to cover some of the additional lessons, specifically on areas of my expertise. So every time when I attended some lectures, giving certain speeches, I actually do get paid quite handsomely, right? So I'm still doing some of that right now, despite the fact that I'm retired. So that still gives me a good income that still supply me plenty of income. On top of that, I think there are you just need to be innovative in helping yourself to identify more ways to increase your income, be it going into your boss, coming up just before it comes up to your review to highlight that, hey, you know what, I've been in the company for this amount of time, this amount of year, these are some of my contribution that I've helped the organization to gain this amount of additional growth, income, etc. So these are good opportunity for you to essentially seek to help you to gain more income. And why am I talking more income? Because we need to prepare, stack up cash right now, just so that by the time we enter the bear market next year, we enter it strongly with a bang, to start to accumulate more assets. Okay, I don't want to specifically call out which asset yet, but very likely, even for myself, I'm stacking up cash. I'm trying to liquidate some of the good gains that I've got, essentially because I know that when the bear market comes again, specifically for Bitcoin, I'll enter at the low and hopefully exit at the more higher up. And for the next cycle to come, I think potentially the gain can be 5x or 4 or 5x, 4 or 5 times of the return, right? That's better than anything else in the market, right? So take note of that. Stack cash and be liquid, and don't miss out on this opportunity. Okay, so yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Hit the like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.